Hi, I am Bo Sanchez, and my spiritual journey started when I was 12. My parents were the traditional parents who didn't talk about money around the dinner table. The blessing that I got from my parents was their simple lifestyle. In my late 20s, I started having internal conflicts. People would always come to me asking for help, and 50% of their problems would be about money, and all I could say is, let's pray, because I didn't know anything about money. I decided to get married at the age of 32. I realized that I cannot continue to be poor because of my family. I had to question my basic philosophy that to be a good person, I had to be poor. All that, I had to go back to the altar and ask Him, God, what is your mind about wealth? And that was my awakening. I was enlightened that God's call to me was not poverty, but generosity and simplicity. My journey to financial freedom was a gradual process. At first, I learned how to save. Then I learned about mutual funds, then later on direct investments. Now, I am one of our country's most famous lay Catholic evangelists, known as the preacher in blue jeans. If I'm not busy receiving awards, I write numerous best-selling books.
Hi, this is Socorro Coring Ramos, and I am going to share with you a short story of how I became successful. My mother and grandmother have a market stall where they sell dry goods like broomsticks and bakya. My family didn't manage it so well. They decided to close our business because it became uncontrollable. After losing the business, we have decided to go to Manila. Me and my siblings started working to help my mother in all expenses. I've worked in a candy factory where I get paid 50 centavos a day. I was able to save money for school from my earnings. After I graduated in Arellano High School, I was hired as a sales girl in Goodwill bookstore, and there I met Jose Ramos. A love was developed between us and we got married. After a while, we've decided to open a store in Escolta, and it was named National Bookstore. We didn't have enough money to hire employees, so I worked not only as the manager, but also as the cashier, purchaser, sales lady, and the janitor. During the World War II, Japanese soldiers considered many books sold in our store objectionable, so we hid all of it and we started selling candies, slippers, and other goods. Our store was badly damaged by the war, so it was rebuilt again. But 3 years after that, a strong typhoon came. I was so afraid back then, so I prayed to God. When it stopped, I was so thankful that my family was safe, but the store didn't survive. But it was not so long when we got to open again a new store, so we worked really hard from then on. Years have passed. National Bookstore continues to expand, and we were able to build many branches around the country. I got notable awards from recognizing my achievements as an entrepreneur. I can say that in order to possess all of these achievements, just work hard and have perseverance, and of course, faith in God.
I am Edward Lee, CEO of Cursec Online. Let me tell you of my story. I was not good in school with my poor grades. Frankly, the only reason I passed school was that the teacher, well, she's my mother. Despite and because of my lack of academic skills, my father spent a lot of time talking to me and encouraging me, from which I learned a lot of life experiences. The values that my parents imparted to me, like to always do the right thing and that money is important, but it's not the ultimate solution to everything. They never scolded me. They just encouraged me. All the time. Maybe you're wondering how I got into the stock market. I got into this when I was in college. Luckily, I met a friend who owns a stock market brokerage house in the PSE, and I learned from him. I was just 18 and I was fascinated. I was making money at a very young age. But when the stock market started crashing in 1974, I was in a big wipeout. I experienced to lose a lot of money, and my last resort was borrowing money from my friends. Since I didn't attend school, I looked for a job. I earned 8 pesos a day as a batcher and a key puncher. Later on, I decided to go back to the stock market through my savings from my salaries. I started to do it again, to invest again. I already learned from my failures. I already knew that the stock market is an up and down cycle that everyone in it should understand. At the present, I am still into the stock market, far from the impulsive 18-year-old boy I once was. I am now one of the successful individuals in the stock market industry, and together with my company and colleagues, we extend hands to everyone out there who wants to enter the stock world.
I am Melvin Jason De Vera, and I am going to tell you my humble beginning. I start when I was in college. I used to work as a part-timer in a fast food chain. Then, after I graduated college, my first job was an accounts clerk in Insular Saving Bank. Then, I got promoted from accounts clerk to teller, marketing assistants, and then cash officers. Then I realized there's no way for me to go up further because next to me requires being a CPA. So I decided to move to other engagement. However, upon finishing my master's, I decided to move to BPI and took another challenge. I was thinking of going to a call center too, but I realized, why am I sacrificing my career when I can do both? It was hard, but the pay is a bit higher. As I am working with BPI, I was enlightened with stock market. I started as an investor by simply buying stocks until I thought of having this a career. A broker and investment practitioner, and that is because I work hard and thank God every time. So I studied by self-studying. Then, I became an educator, which led me to open up more things. I started teaching in year 2005. After I quitted all my banking jobs, now I still teach, invest in stock market, doing portfolio analysis, and I am financially stable because I met these people who helped me achieve my dreams. I own several houses, condos, and businesses. And you know what? I still go to church to thank God for giving me these blessings.
Bo, Socorro, Edward, and Melvin have different life experiences, but what's common about them is their great perseverance and, most importantly, faith in God.